Okay, piece number 45, the Forum of Trajan, has 4 pictures and a lot of identifiers. Context for this is that fora, which is plural of forum, were very common in the Roman Empire. They were built in pretty much every town, and Roman emperors would build them after they completed some great military victory. We see here's one from Caesar, here's one Augustus, and here's Vespasian's. And this is our Forum of Trajan here. The context is that Trajan was considered one of the best leaders of the Roman Empire. He ruled for 20 years. The Senate even gave him the name Optimus Princeps, which means great leader. He was one of 5 of the best emperors who is given credit for starting the 200-year Pax Romana, or Roman peace. He is also known for creating programs for the poor. He built bathhouses for all of the citizens, and he expanded the empire to its greatest size. The context here is in his expansion, he went up to this area called Dacia, which is present-day Romania. And then for future reference, he also went here into Petra, which is going to be the site of another of our art images. The content for the Forum of Trajan is that we have what's called a basilica right here. I'll show you pictures of. It has libraries on either side. It has this victory column that we're going to look at. And over here are markets, pretty amazing. And then this center kind of forum area reminds me of the Athenian Agora. It's got stoa on either side, so a walking, gathering place for citizens. The function is that it serves as propaganda, and it's a huge advertisement for Trajan saying, look how great I am. I'm really deserving of being an emperor. And the way that function worked, or kind of played out, is up here we see these 6 horses, they're statues, pulling a chariot. Well, it's Forum or Trajan in that chariot, running these horses into the kind of the entrance of his forum. And if you had any doubts, he made coins at the time with the Forum of Trajan, and here is the statue of the 6 horses and he in the chariot. Another function of this Forum of Trajan was getting support of business leaders who would need some great kind of mall space. This is one of those, I think, first malls of the world, well, of Europe anyway. And this is the inside of it. There's like 150 stores here that a business person could rent and use to sell their goods. These stores were made with the use of groin vaults. Remember, a groin vault is where we take 2 barrel vaults, we cross them, and their intersection is a groin vault, and it allows us to go up higher and wider in architecture. And these are, of course, made with cement, which the Romans were the best at creating. This is the basilica, and the basilica kind of looks like a temple, but actually it is a nice gathering spot for citizens. You can imagine in a really noisy city like Rome, where people are packed in, where horses and carts, wagons, chariots kind of go through the street in a noisy way, that it would be nice to have a space where you could gather with friends to talk. And so that's what the basilica is for. It's a nice open space where you can see people gathering to chat, debate, discuss ideas. The column of Trajan that we see right here, it's behind the basilica, and then it has got a Greek library and then a Roman or a Latin library on the other side. So the column talks about how Trajan is a soldier and an empire builder, but the libraries demonstrate that he is a real learned person. He's a scholar, so he's really fit to rule. This temple that we see here, small temple, was added on after Trajan's rule. So the content of this column of Trajan is it's got 155 scenes like this one going up around it. 58 of those scenes, of course, feature the main dude, Trajan. And then there's so many carvings. There's 2,662 carvings of Romans and Dacians. And the Dacians don't have a written history. And so one of the kind of perks of this column is that it provided a visual of for Dacians of Romanians of their early history. This not a very pleasant scene for a Dacian. This is Trajan here standing next to another important dude, and here are Roman soldiers handing over the heads of Dacians that have been slain in battle. More content on this column. This is the anthropomorphizing of the river Danube into this massive older man, powerful man. And over here you can see these are Roman soldiers who are building something. They've got bricks. They're handing these bricks up to one another. They're building like a military base in Dacia so that they can maintain control of this new territory that they've conquered. And you can see here the river Danube. Back to this, I should note that this is low relief, and there are registers here, but you can see that the registers aren't like straight horizontal like in the standard of Ur. Instead, these registers wind up around the column because they're going up. Here's the base of the column, and the base of the column sits on this I guess it would be a house, a maintenance building. These doors enter into a stairwell that goes up the entire height of the column to a balcony. The context for this column is that Apollodorus was an engineer that Trajan took with him in his invasion of Dacia. Apollodorus was super creative and genius. He built across the half-mile width of the river Danube a bridge that was, I think, an elegant bridge. It's featured here in this piece of art. And a later emperor of Rome tore it down. Moron. But here on the column, you can see this is the initial building of that river. You can see the boats here, and here are the Roman legions crossing that river on that bridge. So Apollodorus was a genius of an engineer brought back to Rome by Trajan to build his forum.